starting to come next with another game of Total Warhammer 3, and we are playing Khalida, the Asp Queen. Oh, this is going to be good stuff. We're going to lose really quick. Her start's famously kind of hard. We're going to turn off the endgame crisis. We'll turn it on to be on the long victory, so it'll never happen. But, you know, if we get to that point, it'll be interesting. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and start the campaign. Very hard, very hard. Like always, I'm not good enough to play on this difficulty, but sometimes it works out anyway, and it's always fun if you can make it work. So, we're playing the Tomb Kings. This was a Warhammer 2 race who recently got a bit of a rework in this patch, which is in beta 6.3, so I'm excited to give it a little bit of a shot, see some stuff. There's been a bunch of changes. I haven't played Tomb Kings really in 3. I mean, I have. I've tried to play Khalida's campaign a couple of times, and let me tell you, I didn't win. I died so fast. I put up a poor performance indeed. But she's a lady. So her faction, she gets relations with all factions now, and then you have these dedication things, these rites. No, that's not where it's from. It's... I don't know where this dedication thing comes in, actually. Maybe that's automatic and not a thing I do. I will check. Well, it says 4 AP damage. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So we start out with a Lich Priest of Nehekara. This is the spell school of the Tomb Kings, which I'm not like an expert in, but we'll figure it out as we go. Or we'll lose very early and not have to worry about it. So the thing about Tomb Kings, which is awesome, is they don't have to pay for their armies, right? You don't have to. Yes, we do indeed have a bone giant. But yeah, if you're playing, you need to go to the properties in Steam and download the 6.3 beta and load through the beta. The patch is not live entirely yet, but it should be save game compatible, according to the chatter on the internets, you know. Okay, so, oh wow, this is considerably higher tomb caps for the things. I didn't know what the numbers would be. Okay, so now you get a tomb guard out of this, and 1 capacity, 4 capacity for archers just for that. That's got to be higher than it used to be. Anyway, good stuff. I think we go for this immediately because we need the caps. You know, you gotta be able to buy more archers. Right now we are already archer capped. We can get 2 Nehekara warriors, but we gotta win this fight first. Do we win this fight and then we have to try to go into another one immediately? Maybe, I don't know. With the bone giant, things should be a little easier than they used to be. So we start with the Bone Giant, a Screaming Skull Catapult, and then we got Necro Knights, and then some Skellies. The lady herself, who's got, you know, her explosion. Curse, which is just, you know, that normal ability that you get if you ever get under 50%. Immune to contact. Yeah, we'll, you know, she eventually gets interesting. I don't know if she's ever good, but I like her. I like her aesthetic. I used to play her a bunch in Warhammer 2 when the Tomb Kings were much easier to play. Well, because on the campaign map in Warhammer 2, things were more advantageous. Also, good morning, Luke. The start of a new campaign is always so exciting. Alright, so we'll have Necro Knights here. Have these guys to fight like the inevitable dog harass. They'll like get on the catapults, but it won't matter over much. And then, okay, so this explosion does not affect friendly troops. And yeah, that'll be That'll be something, of course. What we need to do is get on the Grave Guard here and start ripping shots into the Wizard Lord with our, oh my goodness, oh man, artillery against vampires just feels so good. The Screaming Skull Catapult, screaming on in, you know. The second hit didn't do as good as the first one, but what are you gonna do? And the Bone Giant is firing away and doing real good work already, you know. Getting a bunch of free shots in does feel good. There's nothing in the world like a bunch of free damage. Oh my goodness, they're trying to evade the artillery. That, of course, just delays them a little bit. So, an example of when the AI isn't helping them out too much. Of course, the Bone Giant now is missing a bunch of shots. Maybe we should have him on the Grave Guard. You know, they're an anti-large missile unit. They're not that accurate. Oh, man. Okay, speaking of not that accurate, hey, at least we're getting a little bit of work done. The Silver Shields, I mean, that's not going to be great. We do have Necro Knights to come in around the side, though. In here, the only spell we've got is a buff spell, which is just fine, you know. We don't want Khalida to eat the charge from all of those bats. We do want these knights to wheel into these dogs and catch them. Oh yeah, good stuff. And we get the bats dived on. Very careless indeed. You know, at least these dogs are getting beat up. At least the Grave Guard are getting beat up. At least Khalida can go in and fight a Vampire Lord unsupported. I know that doesn't sound like it's good. Alright, at least everything's going fine. Dogs are already about to get just trash canned, and we're going to be able to go over here to support Khalida, who is getting beat on so bad, just getting totally trucked. But now with the Necro Knights coming in, you know, we took way too much damage here. We really needed to do this a lot cleaner, but I don't know how to play. They've been power crept over the most. Yes, exactly. Like, and I think a lot of what we get in this patch should help with it, I hope. Because really, you know, these factions needed some love. They need to feel as cool, you know, they need all the tools, like especially just like upgraded technology trees, traits, like that stuff really matters for your enjoyment of a campaign, because you know, if you just have a better tech tree, if you just have better heroes, stuff that you have access to, and better like level up trees and cooler items, then every battle that you ever do is gonna feel more fun anyway. Man! Get her out of there! Man alive! Whew. Just getting beat on so bad. I sure wish this ability increased, like, melee attack rather than, weapon damage, because, you know, these skeleton spearmen aren't very good at attacking, and so too am I not good at attacking. Like, we don't need to be taking thousands of damage on Khalida here, but nothing else can do damage. Alright, there's the army losses. Anyway, at least the Necro Knights only lost one model, so they'll be fine. Khalida losing half of her hit points feels bad. We have to go win a fight right after this, too. We can't wait a turn. I don't think we can. I struggle with any faction with a unique spell school, because, like, my familiarity with the magic of Warhammer is almost entirely due to the very large amount of Empire campaigns that I played in Warhammer 1. And, alright, so here we can get growth. I think the money is more important, though. Replen could be better. Ah, man. See, for the Tomb Kings, any money you ever get is so valuable because it's so hard to come by anymore. But yeah, we're just gonna take the money and maybe we'll lose. But we're gonna get the Terrifying Mask of Eve for capturing this thing, which will be good. That'll let us get terror on Khalida, who doesn't have it yet. Who maybe doesn't get it at all. Alright, so let's take a look at her tree, because I don't know what it is. Alright, so she's got a chariot, which you don't care about. And then she gets the Necro Serpent, which probably isn't good, but looks very awesome. So, Amber Success, wins Power Reserve, Missile Strength for the archers. A 55 meter bubble to increase reload skill, weapon damage, and stuff for the archers, so excellent. And then less casualties plus regen for herself, very good. Ammo for all the armies. Army ability for her thing. More buffs there. Frenzy and Unbreakable, Fizz Resist. Yeah, I mean, Frenzy, Unbreakable, Regenerating. Lord, all we have to do is find something to make her do a bunch of damage. Removes attribute wounds. Okay, cool, cool. And then she can get terror through that, but and the red line buff is like a AoE heal. Yeah, this is I think we just take red line to buff the ranged things. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Here, I kinda, like, do any of these hurt the enemy? I don't think so. Usirians must. Yeah. Like, I know that the name of that spell. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Here, I think, I mean, replenishment's probably more important. Man, this feels rough. So if I don't take this turn, we're in rough shape. But they won't have a Lord, and they won't have anything really punchy. So we can probably do it. I just feel pretty strongly if we don't do this, then the whole campaign is toasted. I know that might sound stupid, but like you just have to move fast. On your first couple of turns, if you're playing very hard, if you like take even one turn to recruit, like I strongly believe that it just might be over. And I should put this onto the correct thing. I had it on the Terraria scene, which was still in the proper aspect ratio, but you know, not ideal. All right, now we're here on this Cathay map, question mark? Lustria map? Lustria map. I'm like, I was playing this with Yonbo all the time. That doesn't make it a Cathay map. Alright, so we'll have these to protect against the dive. You know, there's just not enough in this army to do much except get dived by the mobility, right? He doesn't have, like, any great targets, so we're just gonna let him choose a target. These guys in the air, that'll be good. They're at least fast. I don't know how good he's gonna do at shooting them. Probably not great, but if they're not moving, you know, there's a lot of them. They're above some trees. That's not perfect. Hey, it connects with 2 of them. That's a thing, you know. The Bone Giant is a great... No value reveals that highly unless they hear blind or resurrect dead models. I think the lore for the Tomb Kings does resurrect them. Like the Realm of Souls does. I think the other healing stuff does, but I would have to read all of the ability. But typically the necromantic factions, when they heal, can pop the models up too. And they're like preparing to receive artillery all over the place here, because, you know, that's how they roll. Bone Giant still connecting. Okay, that was beautiful, actually. And we don't need to worry about the zombies over much. We just want to start softening up the skeletons. Of course, 2 groups of skeletons in one spot. Well, that's the best kind. And of course, because they're so much better than a player is, they just dodge just beautifully. But, you know, when they're clumped up like they were, we can get away with it anyway. And now, we will move this cumbersome giant back a little bit, because we're about to be in some danger from their, no, it's just the one unit there. So the dogs will come to this side, and then the bats will try to come in immediately in the front. We need to get these guys there to hit the dogs when they come in. Do they have spears over there? Yes, so we got to be careful about that also. Because they're on the catapult now, but if we can get them off of the back of it, they're already very beat up, right? And have lost a lot of models. We're just gonna buff these spearmen. We're gonna sit there and shoot right into the flank. That's good. We're gonna get right into the middle of this infantry blob and through our poison attack. And it actually does a lot of work. It actually does a lot of work. All right, good stuff. Need to get in the middle of the blob. Note to self. Other note to self, we're going to get this bone giant to clog up on these skeleton warriors, and then our artillery is still going to be able to shoot right into them quite safely. And we're going to stiffen up this infantry blob with the hero there. It's working great. These zombies are going to try to come into the front. They're going to be taking, you know, missile fire and the like on the way in. And the bone giant's doing great. Khalida's doing fine. Everything is doing wonderfully, and this fight is in the bag. We just gotta deliver, you know. Just gotta deliver. We stopped the zombies from getting on top of the catapults with the Necro Knights, which is very good. These missile infantry are not shooting at anyone. Please shoot at someone. Like, how about these someones? Khalida is surrounded. You know, she's with an infantry blob, but she got separated out of the middle of it, which lets a lot more people get on top and hit her than we would like. We're going to get the Necro Knights here for the flank a little bit. Just a few seconds to get buffed up there again. We're going to juice up our skellies. And speaking of juiced up, the zombies don't run, and we left as if that HP bar being low without any leadership meant that they were like a done deal, which they aren't. But we're mopping it up now. I think we're gonna start getting the shatter on all of them. You know, without a vampire hero or lord, you know, a lord, but any hero as well. But vampire lords, just generic vampires, are so very strong. They have like 75 melee attack. You know, like. And if you're dumb, like me, you'll just forget all the time, even though you know this, and just run right into the middle of them. But it's like, you don't build up Realm of Souls until you lose models, which rewards you for losing models, and then heals up some models, but it also, like... You know, the better you play, the less you ever get to summon your Realm of Souls Ushabti. Not like that should be a worry for me. Yeah, I'm so worried I'm gonna play too good to be able to lose a bunch of my army and use my army ability. Yeah, right. Get real. Get real. Say, like, liquid fortification's good, but you're not getting enough value to get the value on them. Yeah, I think, especially for stuff like Bugman's Rangers, the real value of that region is in their, like, counter-skirmish abilities. You know, you put them in Vanguard, in some trees or something, you do a little gyro harass or whatever, you draw out, like skirmish cavalry, for example, to chase you, you open up, and you take, like, a dog charge or something, you mop it up, and maybe you lose, like, 1,000 hit points, and then you book it back, and, sort of like a more tactical thing. And then, of course, in defending sieges or something, they're very excellent, because the ability to heal up a bit is very good. But, how often is that applicable? Most fights are over pretty quickly. But for Tomb Kings, especially, like, if we just have a thing that resurrects our models, then, yeah, I mean, what's not to like? We could sit Khalida in our beautiful line of undead infantry, and, literally what's not to like? She's a lady. Look at her mask. She's got some, like, nice little, cyan eye makeup going on. She's so imperious. Gotta love it. And we get the Terrifying Mask of E, which is theoretically fine, but is not good right now. Because we are fighting vampires who are immune to psychology. But in here, so we probably want to go for the blue line. I mean, having this experience gain and the aura for the leadership effect, that's good. I think we probably want to go to the blue line, though. I think, Canoptic Jars are really good. They're just really good. But we're only going to have one army for a bit. But the thing about the red line is that I don't even feel like it's that good, right? More ammo's fine, but when are we going to need it immediately? A little bit of armor and melee defense is fine. It's not nothing, but, like, is it as influential as getting our items quickly and getting more casualty replenishment? I don't think so. But importantly, we're going to be able to fill up the army. A couple of Nakara warriors who actually know how to fight properly. Khalida start is rough because she's surrounded by enemies and because of who's on the other side of those enemies. So she's right here. And Thoric Ironbrow doesn't usually love you. And then you've got serious lizardmen problems. And then Kairos is here if the lizardmen get dealt with. And then on this side of the mountains, it's Scarbrand, it's Clan Moors. Up here, it's Tretch if he does fine. It's a bunch of enemies that don't usually like you, and almost all of them have teleporting. And the ones that don't have teleporting are lizardmen, who are so good against Tomb Kings. I have died on before round 15 of Khalida Start many times. Okay, the Books of Nagash. These are the campaign objectives for Tomb Kings, and they've been redistributed. They used to be universalized, which stunk. Because if you had a Tomb King over on this side of the world, or over on this side of the world, or over here, they all had the same positions for all of them. But now, there's more abilities to go and get them. And they give you very big buffs, and, you get them by occupying settlements or defeating, rogue armies, in the case of a lot of them. And they give you big bonuses, potentially. If you take the Black Pyramid and Nagash, you get, 5 more unit capacity for Tomb Guard and Tomb Guard Halberds and Skeleton Chariots. Those are all separate. You get 1 more whole army. That's real good. Because right now, as you may know, Tomb Kings, you only start with 1 army. And then through spending Canoptic Jars to unlock other dynasties, you slow down your research, and then you get an extra army that way. but all of them have like a downside. So this one gives us a huge negative army capacity or research rate and a ton of vampiric corruption. Like, why would I take this? I guess if you were Arc in the black, it would make sense. Maybe some of the abilities are better. Oh, it's the ones that buff the very, very biggest of the items, but yeah. And at the bottom, you get, like, these really big ones that are, like, spells and, like, well, like, not spells, but, like, passives that are linked to the thing. Yes, we will... The Book of Nagashazar is... It doesn't exist. It's a rogue army one. The Pilgrims of Myrmidia. It's weird that they don't have one there, given that it's quite close and incredibly logical. But yeah, it also, a thing about this Tomb King start is you have, like, your start up here, and then they have 4 regions. So you have to spend a long time, alternately because you have to take out this army, and then they have this thing with 14, you know, that they've been, like, being able to make stronger all the time. What? What? Okay, I didn't know about this. This landmark gives you regen for all your lords for Tomb Kings. That's pretty good. And, yeah, that's pretty good indeed. And it gives you Perfect Vigor for your faction leader, which Perfect Vigor may be the single greatest ability in the game, maybe. However, there are ways to get it for a lord that aren't too tricky. The easiest way is to fight really far away from where you're from for a few battles, and then you'll get the trait. But I digress. We should be going to the end here. Alright, what could we get from the Mortuary Cult? We could get this Carrion Swarm. Carrion are not good, but they do fly, and they can get on an enemy's lord. And oh, baby, that's the one I wanted to see. So now you can, just like with the Great Book of Grudges here, for a ton of money and jars, you can force confederate other Tomb King legendary lords. Each faction is limited. Of course, you don't get Cetra, who does not serve. Cetra's a real non-serviam kind of guy. Cetra can quote all of Mother Night to you. I am part of the part that once was everything, part of the darkness that gave birth to light, that haughty light that envied Mother Night her ancient rank and place and would be king. It's just so good. It's just so good. Anyway, and there's your little, there's your Goethe quote for the day. Which dynasty do we want? Construction fine for defense buildings, growth, negative corruption. I think you just take growth, right? Isn't it always right to approach growth? I think so. This is also going to be the one that gives us bonus to the skeletons and archers and stuff. So yeah, just unambiguously the right thing. Oh my goodness, no way! This is so fun! So, this will give you the ability to restock for Bone Giants, which gives you 4... You wouldn't use it on yourself, but if you had 2 Bone Giants, they could stock each other up, and one of them would be able to, like, throw some more ammo into the Casket of Souls or something. Wow. Okay. Don't stop me now, because I'm having a good time, Here, we want to... Alright, what do we want to do? A couple of chariots could be really good. Horsemen and horse archers. That would let us get 4 mobility pieces that could be very good. Money could be good. I think we take the horsemen and the horse archers. because that is going to let us... Yeah, it'll be 2 turns, but we'll be able to, yeah, we'll move over there, take that one the turn after, and then we'll be able to recruit them. I think that'll be good, because that'll let us stiffen up the flanks. We'll have a little bit of skirmishing, and then we'll be able to, like, charge into the dogs and stuff. And of course, with Tomb Kings, you don't care over much if your people die. Yeah, Luke, we can only get DJ Kotep for her, because Cetra does not serve. And, yeah, Arkan won't either. But each of them... I think Cetra can get... Maybe Cetra can get Khalida, and then also Kotep, and then Archon might be able to get Kotep, or maybe Khalida. I don't know. They had a list online. I just don't remember off the top of my head. I don't think Cetra can get Archon. I think he can get Kotep and Khalida. But it's like, I don't think any one of them gets access. And some of them, it's like, you can get them through the tree, and then some of them you can force confederate them through battle. And I don't know, like, how all of it works. Maybe we could force confederate Kotep by beating them and do it this way. But I'm just happy that it's a choice, because while it theoretically could make sense for Kurl friends to not be around, you're really going to tell me that you killed off Kotep? He's been dead before. It barely nudged him. Do we have access to any hero recruitment yet? Nope. Alright, so maybe... Alright, so we can get Priests of Death and Priests of Light, but Light Magic has what? Nets and Banishment. Whereas Death Magic has Purple Sun and and Spirit Leech. So if we get rid of this Lich Priest right now, I'm going to save it real quick, because if it doesn't let me recruit one, then I don't want to just, like, get rid of this thing. But it said that I think it's going to let me recruit one. Alright, it will. Yeah. We get a Death Priest, and we're going to get this Death Priest for 15 Fizz Resist. I think that's more important than the hit points, the armor, and the defense. But yeah, look at these traits. Look how good these traits are now. They finally have a proper tough trait. 10% hit points, 25 armor, 8 melee defense. That's a good trait. Wise, look at that. Canopic Jars, hero experience, like... Master of Ceremonies gives you 35 spell resist and a bound banishment with 2 uses. Wowza! I love it. I love it. Wrathful gives you weapon strength, bonus of energy, and the Slayer ability to never get your melee attack reduced. All this is so good. We're gonna take the Eternal. I think the Fizz Resist is better. And then we'll be able to inject him in there, and we'll be able to use the Death Magic much more effectively than the Spell School of the Tomb Kings. We'll definitely get a Tomb King caster. I feel like Death is better with my ability to reach out and poke Lords and stuff. You can confederate him via Orc Diplomacy. Got it. Man, when they added that in, I was so happy when I was playing Orcs. Or like Norska Confederation. Oh, dude, I didn't even know it was a thing, right? Because it wasn't in the Once Upon a Times. Or like you just like Warriors of Chaos, you like take the thing and then you force vassalize the Norscan vassal, and you're like, oh, Archeon campaign is the most fun ever. It's not like interesting, in my opinion. It could be. It's just pure fun. Archie is what a person should play if they're frustrated with the game, but they still want to play it. It's like, man, so why would I take regular skellies over spears? I mean, like, I guess theoretically they have slightly more attack, and yeah, but you take spears because the defense is what you care about anyway. You know, you have a couple of things to multiply power, like 1 unit of Necropolis Knights and 1 Khalida, who's not actually that strong. Don't let her hear me say that, though. Kata probably has the Mighty Confederation because he's so far away from everyone else. Yeah. And he is, of the Tomb King Lords, he's the most amenable, right? He's the Grand Hierophant. He is like, an organizational figure rather than a ruling figure as such in the broader philosophical hierarchy of the Tomb King faction. Katep always desires, the unity, for lack of a better word. He's not like gonna be insulted that Cetra took over the world and now he works for Cetra. Whereas Cetra, of course, the imperishable, the rest. I was thinking the other day, I'm like, if I play a Cetra campaign, should I just start it by reading all of his titles? Then I'm like, who would that be for? Who would think that is funny, and who would get really bored by the time they realized that there were hundreds of them? Do we auto this? I think so. Yeah, good deal. I was like, it was just a trash army, and our army now, that was an army that was worth fighting when we had 8 less units, but now at 17, it's much easier to deal with that sort of nonsense. Oh, okay, wow. We already had 2 unit cap. Oh, never mind. This place had 1 too. Well, now we have access to a lot of horsemen. Alright. And this regular warrior is unimportant. We'll take like 3 skirmish cav. They have magic attacks? They have magic attacks? Skeleton horse archers have magic attacks. Bet. I love horse archers. Everybody knows that about me. Whether or not they're good does not diminish the incredible affection that I have for horse archers. Here, do we take all of this? Man, that's a pretty good set. Income from sacking settlements, casualties. I mean, I think we just take the jars, though, because getting jars every turn passively is just good. You used to be able to get them. Yeah, you get them on your heroes as well. At the expense of getting magic, though, seems rough. We're going to do it anyway. Right? Yeah, I mean, they're not going to let us get too many in a row, will they? Maybe they will. Anyway. Well, he'll just do Spirit Leech for a bit. Look, jars give you the best things. Jars, the Mortuary Cult was like the way that Oath Gold got implemented. Mortuary Cult was first, if memory serves, and it usually does for this kind of thing. Because, yeah, it must have done, because the Oath Gold would have come in with Thoric, I think, and maybe, and this would have been before that, I believe. But anyway, getting access to amazing items through trade and secondary items, and like that's my idea of a great Total War campaign, and that's why Tomb Kings are cool. If you weren't familiar, there is an objective choice for the worst achievement in Total Warhammer 2. That achievement is to buy every single item in the Mortuary Cult. It's not a good achievement. With Katep. I'm right. Your evidence is gold. Like, yeah. There were a lot of stinkers in the achievements for Warhammer 2. I had particular hatred. I didn't get all the achievements, but I got a bunch of them. I must have put like 800 hours, I think it was, into Warhammer 2. We're at like 450 for this now, but yeah, it's just so annoying. Because it's like, you get to a point and then you're like, wait, did I even buy all of these? And then you're just churning through. You're just like, all right, now I have to buy all of them in a row. And I love these dynastic legends, like the special units. Some of them, it's like you know that these are the exact same as the other ones that I have, but some of them are a lot cooler. Like, you know, Frostbite, AP, like pure AP. Oh, these are ethereal ones. That's right. I'm like, pure AP? Yeah, like these Usirian's Legion of the Netherworld, I have gotten a lot of wins on the back of these guys, because unlike most ethereal units, you know, they've got a ton of hit points anyway, but they're very good. You just can't forget about them. Thoric Ironbrow is moving up here. So what I can do now is, if I take Granite Missive, which is probably attached to a Skaven thing, but if I take it right now, alright, I take it for money, which hurts his Tomb Kings. Then I can sell it to Thoric. So that he'll like me. Alright, we'll sell it to him next turn because we don't want a trespassing penalty. He's a dwarf. He will not forgive us if we trespass. But we're not gonna upgrade this because that's too much money to be throwing into it. But we will trade that to him, and hopefully on the back of that it will make him like us. And we wouldn't have been able to get to Marok in one turn anyway, so this doesn't really slow us up at all. Khalida's army is already stacked of 20 units, which is excellent. And so all we got to do here is upgrade Doomglade. Put a barracks first. It'll take 4 turns to build the first thing, and a barracks is like... Oh, I don't know how long we can be next to him before he gets mad. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Sonic Noise, you're sick, you gotta go. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, thanks for stopping in and doing your little zoomy Sonic thing. Appreciate ya. Just like, okay, these are Necromancers. Like, if he has a double White King in this army, I'm about to be annoyed. Alright, we'll be able to pop in there. This is a Master Necromancer. They are not good fighters. They are interesting Lord choices, but the AI is not going to be able to do... If it was like a Strigoi Ghoul King, which are just absolute raid bosses at level 1, they're so sick. They're so good. They might be the best level 1 Lord to just like stick in an army. There might be a better one, but the Strigoi Ghoul King it very well might be the best one. So Thoric moves up there and takes the Karag. Now this will get us a better bonus when we trade it. Count Evald is here now. Now it's going to be a big ol' fight. It's going to be a 30 stack against my thing, and that'll be what it has to be, right? We just have to make it work. Alternately, we go into ambush stance and try to draw him out. That seems stupid. We have to do the fight. The alternative is what? To waste time in between, and then he'll be able to support Lamia, which has got walls. So we have to take this fight. We just have to win. We got horse archers. We've got horsemen to back them up if they get jumped on by bats and the like. You know, we've got our catapult. We've got our bone giant. This is a proper vampire lord with a shield and the 80 weapon attack, the 500 weapon attack and the 80 weapons melee attack. But we'll see how to make it work. So here, yeah, we can't even get a non-aggression for it. We don't have enough money to even pay for one. But we make our money back from that, and if that'll be enough to get us to 40. So as it goes up, we might be able to just get a treaty or two. And if we could get non-aggression with Thoric... Look, we have to take this Lost Plateau for a book. But if we just get non-aggression with Thoric, we can stabilize for a bit and then figure out why there's Skaven corruption down underneath us, for example. I think it's a minor Skaven infection, which means they'll lose to the Lizardmen, which means we'll have that problem instead. Because we need to get up to 5k so that we can get a Casket of Souls, because these things do amazing artillery damage. Yeah, they've only got, I mean, they've got a handful of mobility, but we've got, we've got a handful of mobility ourselves. It's a lot of skeletons. A lot of skeletons and not that many zombies. They are in march stance already, so their vigor will be tired, which will be very good for us. And, we've got... They don't have any grave guard or anything, right? They don't have anything that's gonna chew through our infantry, so... Say the problem with keeping the peace with Thoric is he's also between me and the other Tomb Kings. Yeah, How do I beat dwarves with this army? I mean, I guess if we fought him very early... Well, as soon as we get the second army... Yeah, maybe we don't need non-aggression. I think that gift to him of that thing in the gap was good. Because I don't think it slowed him up any. I think it'll keep him with affection for a little bit. When we get the second army in, what, like 5 or 6 more turns for the research? And then we can double army and move in and try to pop him. It says we'd win the auto-resolve. We're clearly not going to auto-resolve this. You can't auto-resolve a fight like this unless you've already lost it a couple of times. Look, this is the beginning of the campaign. This is when you're allowed to have the most fun. They're going to have all 30 of their units out to start. This is when you have the most fun. And of course, it is a classic battle map. Sand all around. I wonder where they'll be coming from. But we should be able to get the dogs at least. Screaming Meme Catapults, very deep set. They're going to have to come to me anyway. We might as well have the best positioning to be able to shell them as they arrive. Because our skirmishers are going to be able to force them to give battle regardless. Necronites on this side to pop the dogs whenever they inevitably come in. You know, with only 2 archers. We'll keep them both there. Nehekar warriors to protect, Nehekar warriors on the flank. Priest to fight with the blob. High Queen Khalida to fight with the blob. Yeah, you know, it's a humble little box of people, but you know, it'll work. It'll probably work. So we should be able to wear down, you know, some of it. We'll just charge in with our horsemen here. And our horse archers are going to be able to very nicely put in some damage. Of course, with the poison, that slows them down a bit, and now they're just going to take a charge here. They're not going to be supported by their friends in enough time. And I'm not really worried about our skirmishers getting jumped on by the bats specifically, so we'll be okay. Of course, if these were normal dogs, they would just rout off the battlefield. But these are dire wolves, and you know you gotta hit them a little bit longer to crumble them to dust. But now, as they approach, it's time for us to start booking it. Like, yeah, they're still going all right. We just need to get our horsemen further away, because if the bats dive on them, what we don't want is, you know, the rest of these spears to be able to take advantage of that. How are they doing over there? All right, this flank will be the preliminary battle for sure. So we'll just send one over here, send one over here. That way they won't... We have them in skirmish mode just so I don't make a mistake. They can shoot, I don't think 360, so, you know, this is not ideal, but... Alright, skirmish mode off. Because if we just micro better than we ever have before, then we can totally get these fast guys down before the rest of the army comes. And that's good. Alright, now these bats dove, so we can go ahead and get our horsemen onto him. Nope, they were too clever for me by half. You know, they know what I'm doing. They're about to get some of their army into our space, though, so we'll be all right. And here, horsemen coming in. There we go. Come on. There we go. Get a fight. Get a fight. There we are. We finally got their bats down on the ground far enough away from the rest of our guys, and we'll be able to finish them up. The dangerous gyros. Yeah. And the Bone Giant can win an artillery duel with the cannon, maybe. Crypt Schools here, and there we go. Turn skirmish mode back on for our fellows, and now with these Crypt Schools in front, this is actually a great pick. You know, this is who we want to be shooting. We're just going to fan out here to sort of distract their AI a little bit and make them think we're going to charge. So we don't want to be fighting these Crypt Ghouls out here in the front. You know, we want to use our horsemen like a poorly crafted battering ram. We're almost out of arrows, of course. That's the danger with your horseman archers. They only got about 15 arrows, but you know, you can still get some work done. They've only got one dog left, and all the bats are gone. And that is going to make our back line relatively secured, and we can just secure it with our mobilita, of course. And soon enough, the catapult will shoot. We should be turned this way. You know, they're being too clever by half here with their positioning. Because there's a ton of skellies that are very far away, so that's at least going to let us not get totally overwhelmed. Hey, Minutemen, we are having a party! Alright, so there we, boom! Alright, there's the good stuff. Crashing down on the Crypt Ghouls. They're trying to go in the seam here and get the archers, so we're just going to charge the Necro Knights up into them. Because, of course, the Skeleton Horse Archers, after they're out of ammo, they're still, you know, they can still, like, cycle charge. They can still go into the rear of the foe. Here, the Necro Knights get right on top of the Dire Wolves and absolutely melt them. And we just need to get working on this guy with the leeches. Like, come on, just Spirit Leech him. There we go. Alright, we need the Necro Knights away from this side where all the spears are. We're just going to charge in this way. The Nedakara warriors are going to be feasting here. They want to be fighting these sorts of units, so we're going to let them have it. Now right here we have Khalida in a blob against their leader. This is not ideal. We want her away from him. We don't want our artillery to be shooting our own troops. I'm not really good enough to not have it happen, though. We're going to go over here with Khalida. And hope that the chaff will just tie up our foe here. Alright, so we need... archers to bear to support that side of the flank. Nedakara warriors to move in right here at these guys that are trying to roll over us. Alright, their guys on the spears now, and we're in a much better position. We're going to drop the base right here in the middle of this blob. Oh my god, it's a lot of damage. Good stuff. 4 seconds on another Spirit Leech. Their vampire is embroiled in single combat with a bunch of skeletons. So, you know, with dual combat with a bunch of very bad matchups for them. Their spears here, we don't want to go anywhere with spears, basically, with these Necro Knights. We're just going to use them to support as we can to break through troops and stuff. Think that side's doing alright. Khalida's side is doing just fine. We've got both Nedakara warriors in on this side, hitting, and there we go. First Realm of Souls activated. Their Vampire Lord is in the perfect position for us, the worst one possible for him. We're just going to dive right in. No, that's bad. That's real bad. We're going to cycle charge around the rear of the Crypt Ghouls. $20 for Khalida's ability. The bump and grind going great. Nekara warriors winning these fights. These skeletons holding up. These Nekara warriors are just feasting. This is as good could be. Except that these spears are piercing through the back line. Except that these spears are piercing through the black line. One second for Khalida. There we go. We're just gonna give that flank. This is just Khalida, the leader, and spears here on this side, and just spears there. Well, you know. Bone Giant's gonna shoot. Nekara warriors doing fine. We're here in skeleton spears with our large units. We're just gonna try to run over them. Like we gotta do something, right? We absolutely have to do something. These horsemen are getting pulled down all the way. Alright, we shattered those at least. Good stuff. 40 seconds on Khalida. We're going to throw another Spirit Leech. This Skeleton Spearman unit being absolute heroes clogging up the foe. These Nedakara warriors have won their fight. We're going to move over here into the flank to try to collapse in here. And the rear guard penetration that they had going on, totally offline now. Our catapult, still going to be feasting. This bite is in the bag. They just don't know it yet. All over but the shouting. The charge on the skirmish cav is 25. So it's the same as on the skeleton horsemen. No, it's a little lower. They're just not as tired. And there we have their leader who has beaten our noble skeletons. Oh, Sharptooth summon! Boom, baby! I'm like, wait, we've lost enough for a new Sharptooth summon? Aw, yeah. The Realm of Souls is up and at 'em. The Ushapti are going to be able to beat on this dude. The Ushapti are going to be able to solve this I'm a Vampire Lord problem. The Ushapti are anti-infantry armor-piercing characters. With a bonus of infantry of 12, they're not that good at hitting things, but when they hit, they'll hit hard. And they are in full crumble now. Nearly full crumble now. Beautiful. Just what we needed. And now this big army is gone, so we might be able to just auto-resolve the siege without taking losses whenever we go up there. Perfect. Obviously, we lost a few units. Obviously, we're Tomb Kings. These Nehekar warriors with 300 kills, only 400 value. But, you know, that's what it's all about. You got to have somebody in your army that can churn through trash infantry while the rest of your trash infantry stands there and looks heroic. 200 jars feels good. And of course, we can't replenish the Skeleton Horseman that we lost, or rather, we can't recruit it here because this is a different zone. But we'll be able to move into Lamia next time, and hopefully that'll be good. Because Thoric now, like, who's he against? He's probably going to declare on me because I'm next to him. But Scarbrand's right there, so maybe he'll hit him, you know? Because, like, Clan Moors is, like, right here, right? It's like, this is a miserable place to start. And we just go jars over replenishment because I'm so greedy. Look, greed is either going to pay off or it isn't. But if we don't get these jars, we're not going to be able to do the cool stuff that we need to do in order to deliver. Do we get this carrion flock? I mean, we could activate it. We're just going to hold on to it. I mean, they're not good, right? The thing about this carrion flock is they do have 540 hit points per model. You know, they got armor piercing. They're not good. They're fast. They have a bombardment. They're not good. Yeah, I mean, like, just when you think of a nightmare of a diplomacy screen, if you're like not a dwarf aligned faction, and you see this as the only people you know, that's a hard knock life for turn 5. Who are your neighbors? Oh, Queek Head Taker, Scarbrand. You know, they pick up after themselves. Well, not Queek. People pick up after Queek. Well, not people. Alright, and now we get a casket. Now we get a casket. Boom. Casket of Souls is the best item in the game. It's not, but it is. The Casket of Souls is an artillery piece that is hysterically strong. It just hits so hard. And, you know, we just have to make sure we don't lose it. You can only do the right every, like, 10 turns. Caskets are very, very, very strong. 5k could have bought me a lot of buildings, but a casket in this army will buy the destruction of our enemies. You have a casket against dwarves, you can get it done. He's already level 10. He's already level 10! How'd he get to level 10? He ain't walked but 4 feet? Man. Ridiculous. But Thoric's also got a book, right? Or rather, the Lost Plateau does. And we need that, you know, more than anything. It'll give us a bunch of jars. I mean, that's not that important. It's not the most amazing book. Like, this one gives you line of sight to these resources. You know, like, that's not the most amazing book either. But a bunch of them are attached to rogue armies, so it's basically just getting strong enough to beat them. It really looks like Thoric wants to fight me. It really looks like Thoric is going to bushwhack me. We'll go to ambush here just to see if we can make them make a bad choice. I don't think it costs us anything to not be in there. And it'll get the clock ticking for us getting that ambush chance boost thing. Man, Thoric's gonna bushwhack me. I can feel it. I can just tell he's gonna do it. Do we sell this building? Because why else would he be right there? Sometimes the AI will just, like, declare war on you because they want to move through your land and they don't want to give you military access. So they're like, you know what? Maybe instead, I'll fight. And you're like, well, this is what I signed up for. In the grim darkness of the fantasy past, after all, there is only war, as we know. It says we'll be defeated, and you know what that means. It means we have to do the fight ourselves. We're not going to be defeated. We'll be fine. They just have a Master Necromancer, which, as we've already established, is a very underwhelming lord. We've got a casket. We've got a catapult. We've got a bone giant to shoot down the towers. We'll be fine. The casket has, like, a really good arc. When we get to the restock from the bone giants, the casket with restock is going to be really hilarious for sieges. We're probably just going to lean on the back of that all the time. If we can get Thoric inside of a dwarf hold with walls to attack him, that's what we'll need once we get our restock caskets up. It's so awesome! Like, you don't even walk down here. You don't even look at it unless you remember to. It's so awesome! Look, like all people in the world, I think the Egyptian aesthetic is just very cool, like everybody else does. It's a pyramid with scorpions by it. I mean, like, it's a pyramid with scorpions by it. All the information you needed to appreciate how cool it was present at the beginning. It's like, you can deploy all the way over here, because the tower, like, reaches this way, but we'll just, there we go. We should be fine. I think, actually, the tower's range is the same as my range with the bone giant, so we need to make sure we're out of the arc of it. We can do that. We just need to make sure. We'll be careful. We'll be really careful. That's me, the careful guy. I'm like, can I walk up here? Can I physically walk around to this side and set up my artillery on the hill? I'm gonna try. We just gotta stack everybody else back here, just literally everybody else, all the people in the world. Because they don't have any way to punish this. They're vampires. Who did I leave over here? The Necro Knights, that won't do, yeah. And we'll just very carefully, very safely, very smartly take down this wall. And the Casket of Souls is gonna, like, shell them, and we'll let it shoot a bunch for free and see how it goes. But first, can I go up here? No, you can't. You can't walk up this way at all, actually. It just really looks like you can. The Casket's already doing wonderful work. The Bone Giant's already doing wonderful work, and we'll just fast forward a little bit. And let the damage roll in. Oh my goodness, yeah, this is... this is very sporting. What we're actually going to do... We want to save some of the casket ammo for, like, these Black Knights. Oh my goodness, it's so much damage. Because we don't have infinite casket ammo. The Bone Giant is going to spend almost all of its ammo knocking down this one tower. But what's he going to shoot in this fight, right? This is the only thing he's going to be able to shoot. Yeah, that casket, that's a lot of damage. This is not sporting at all, but, you know, we're Tomb Kings fighting vampires. Where's the sport supposed to be? They've got, like, some Graveguard here, somewhere. I think. I don't know where. But it's like, even with these bad target selections, the incredibly good firing arc on the Casket of Souls, if we drop a shot right here, that's going to hit 3 units? No, just 2. Alright, well, it's not going to hit either of them, but it could. Alright, some of these shots are like, okay, we're taking the oblique angle into it, and I think he's missing, because he needs to hit, like, up here, and we're too much to the side. That's another reason why the tower is still up. But there we go. Probably just going to turn Fire at Will off until we can figure out what's going on a little better here. And I have no idea at all why these catapults aren't opening up yet. I have faith that they're going to wake up soon. But now it's time to move to the wall and get to fighting. Of course, we don't have really too much for these blob fights, but Khalida's ability will do good. And, you know, we'll have eaten up some of their, Oh, right, this guy, when things die, he does, like, a heal around him, so he's actually going to be healing up the dudes. These Black Knights that we were hitting earlier are going to be totally fresh. That stinks. It'll be fine. We're hitting artillery shots with the catapults onto the top of the wall. That's just fine with me. I guess it works. But now we have this tower that's shooting us. That's not ideal. It's going to be doing free damage forever. And to our various guys. I mean, until we take that, which who knows how long that would be. If we tried to take it with the AI, it would make us run all the way around. Just like a really, really circuitous route. Very fun stuff. Alright, now, so they're more clumped now. Can we get, like, a good casket shot here? Because they're all... Oh, there we go. They're the Graveguard. That's where we wanted. I was like, they're here somewhere. I want to save some shots for them. And the Graveguard are charmingly clumped up with everybody else. Oh, that's a lot of damage. And we need Fire at Will on our ranged units off, because we need... Oh, man, that arc didn't work out. Oh, some of them tried to get over here, and we couldn't decide which way to shoot. Got it. Good. Alright, gate's going down soon. Now the blob fight can commence. Of course, one good thing about fighting vampires is, although they don't run, they don't surprise you too much either. They might have flyers, but they don't here. You know, not too many of them. And they don't have like, oh, now you fell victim to one of the classic blunders. You fool, it turns out that you were, you know, you're now in position for all of my blunderbusses to hit you. You know, they don't have the blunderbusses. You'll be fine. Once you get into a city like this, you know, you just got to worry about where the most dangerous of their units are remaining, and then, you know, shoot them. Oh my goodness, the Lich Priest gets out in front, surrounded by Crypt Ghouls, and oh my goodness, oh man, I can't. Truly a bad player. I'm like, he was supposed to be in the blob fight. Oh, the Graveguard's there too. The Graveguard's there too. Well, we're in this huge blob fight within it, without any way to blow up the blob. However, you know, we'll be fine. We've taken the gate. That's good. Oh, wow, the Casket of Souls ran into the middle. Oh, my goodness. Haha! Yeah, the Casket of Souls ran into the middle of the thing. Fortunately, it didn't get beat up. We would have to start the whole thing over again if we lost the casket. I mean, for real. My heart cannot take the loss of the Casket of Souls. Nor can my forces. The good news is, we're here in this big blob and fighting the enemy. The bad news is, well, we're not winning. No, we're winning. We're winning so hard. Alright, let's just move the casket a little further back. It's not getting anything done right there. This also is not getting anything done right here. Can we... like, should I just shoot at the tower? Is the tower doing good? I don't know. We just need to make sure the Lich Priest isn't too embroiled in the fighting here. Yeah, we've got this huge blob fight going on, but it's fine. You know, Khalida's here to buff up the things, and we're just gradually going to pop them. We're going to pop our ability soon. There's like some steam popping out of the ground. I think it's just dust. Can we get on the wall? I don't think so. I think that's dumb. One more of these abilities, and we pop it. A huge explosion that does not affect friendly troops. And it looks like someone is casting Spirit Leech on my warriors, so, you know, that's a choice. But this unit is very, very widely spread out. Feels bad. We'll be fine soon. All of these guys are about to crumble down, and my leadership is still fine in this blob, and theirs is not. Like, they, one of these days, one of these nights, one of these crazy, crazy days and or nights, they're all going to start crumbling down. Hey, oh, there we go. There's the foe. We're we're gonna move the Bone Giant out front and shoot. Can he just like sit here and try to snipe the Lord? Oh yeah, he can. Khalida's having a party. You know, she ain't done too much, but she's still having a party. Oh yeah, get wrecked. The Bone Giant absolutely can stand in the middle of this and shoot over the top at single entities that are small, and I love that. I want 2 of them. One to restock one and one to restock the other one. Oh yeah, look at that. Get wrecked. These ghouls are going down. They're crumbling into dust, and now we'll be able to take the wall. I think. Hello, Sultan. I should finish that Undertale playthrough later today. I should do a lot. Man, I'm having the most fun with this playthrough. It doesn't matter what happens. I love Tomb Kings. I love that my units don't cost anything. Therefore, not losing them is only losing, like, their eliteness. I love that the upkeep is free. You know, what I wanted was what everybody wanted, was just for them to feel a little better while you played them, for the lords to feel a little better, for the tech to feel a little better. So I'm hopeful that this little update of 6.3 will be everything that I wanted. It certainly feels good right now. But really, you know, just having the Bone Giant, you have the Bone Giant to knock down a tower, and that's what you need, you know. You just need a Bone Giant, and all of those cool skills that we get with it. That's just going to be the delightful gravy. The enemy lord is dead. That is going to very, very much screw up our foes here. You know, they won't have that leadership buff around. They're gonna get tanked, and we should be army lossing them pretty soon. They're not going to be healing. You know, they're not going to have anything. And there we go. There's the first of the Realm of Souls, which this just gives you 2.2 per second for 7 seconds. You know, so 1.4% on all of your guys, but it can get you up a little bit. The third level gives you, you know, that for 21 seconds, so, you know, you get a little bit more. You get 4% heals for your whole army, which is good, you know. You just don't lose a whole army unit, and you'll be fine. Actually, both of the archers are not getting through this blob, but if we move them this way, they might be able to, as that side of it is safe now. And before long, all of it will be over, but the shouting... For they will almost certainly be army lost soon. These Black Knights, the only unit of quality that they have remaining, and they don't even seem particularly interested in fighting with them. You know, they're all the way back here. They're such an awesome looking unit. And with these faction colors, they actually look even cooler. Like the stark gray, it looks almost like a default setting, but then you look a little closer and you're like, no, you know, this looks nice. You know, they've got the tan, they look like proper sandy vampires. Like, the Graveguard are still here. The Graveguard are still here. Well, you know, at least the Necropolis Knights weren't fighting against spears while I wasn't noticing. They were just fighting against dudes, and that's good. They're good against dudes. Decent melee stats, decent defense, high armor. Necro Knights are so cool. Say I know the back rooms? I don't. But... yeah, on our pacifist playthrough in Undertale, we're right at New Home now. So I quit right before the end because I got I got really frustrated with the robot fight because I kept losing it. Yeah, none of our guys are shooting. Can they not see over the top? Anyway, just fast forward here. Probably could have been doing that the last few minutes, but like, you know, sometimes you can get a person overextended and then like actually get kind of messed up. But here, you know, there's no more Lord, there's no more Graveguard for us to worry about. There's no more spears in this blob, so we will just keep on keeping on. Man, if we had regen for Khalida... Oh, and here we have this curse that we could have used earlier once our hit points dropped to debuff the armor of the blob. And there, finally, we wear them all down. A defeat? Me? Get defeated in a siege? I mean, it could happen, but... And there we go. We get Lamia. Crater of the Waking Dead is all in the bag. We get a Dragon Helm. A Leash Bone Pendant, which is actually very good. This ancillary is far better than people give it credit for. The banner, oh, it's a reward that I don't have yet. Because it gives you big spell resist, but it also gives you magic attacks for the unit. And both of those are, of course, very good. Alright, so here we need to... Man. Yeah, we can build the income building. And this. We've got the Carrion Tower. I'm not convinced we need it. It also gives control and stuff. Okay, so we have decrees. Oh! Allows settlements to sally force with the garrison with 1,000 range. That's awesome. Okay, so these things are just, you don't have to do them, but we could spend 500 jars to get 1,500 gold. I don't think that's a good trade right now. Maybe in the late term it could be. We're just going to keep on stacking jars. Golden Idols. The nearest location is the Lost Plateau. Great! Okay, so here we do have... Oh, yeah, baby. We have access to finally some good stuff. We have a unit of Tomb Guard. And another unit of NECA Hikaru Warriors. So now, like, Tomb Guard are, they're not, like, amazing. They're real good, though. They don't turn and run because they're undead. They've got decent leadership, so they're really solid. They got silver shields. They've got decent melee stats, fine weapon strength. You can get halberds on them later. Tomb Guard are good. They could really stiffen up a line. We need the full complement of archers. Do we drop a mobility archer for them? Because here we've got 3 spears, 3 Nekar warriors, and a Tomb Guard. So 7 on the front line with 2 heroes in them. Couple 3 artillery, and then 4 or 5 mobility to defend. Dropping another mobility for another archer doesn't seem great. But our foe is going to be either Skaven or Dwarves, where that mobility could be good, and the spears won't be useful. And we can get new spellets and spears anywhere. Another horse archer. I think another horse archer is fine, because they're not that much worse at fighting than the actual skeleton horsemen are. They're not that much worse at all. You know, the Skeleton Horsemen have shields and moderately higher stats, but as a skirmish unit, I think these are fine. You know, they do have barely more hit points. Yeah, they're basically the same. All right, and now that we got that, we need to cancel all these and do it all over again because we have higher recruit rank now. But fortunately, we remember what we're doing, so it won't take long. We're so broke. We have no prospects of getting more money. We could trade the jars for cash, but again, like... Alright, so we can get... Casualty 20%, that's pretty good. But we'll, of course, take growth because growth is the engine of the world. 'Cause you got to have growth. Okay, so we could actually, if we trade them this settlement, we could get non-aggression with them. I mean, we have to fight them eventually. Would it be better to fight them later or right now? I'm sure I don't know. Well, let's just end the turn and see what happens, I guess. And then we get the leash bone pendant. That's right. And this army is immune to mountain and swamp attrition now. Because that's her new trait. Which lets us actually move to the south and through the trees here, through the mountains, without getting totally messed up. That was what it was. That was what was always messing me up with my Khalida campaigns. Now I remember. It was so hard to move even if you had it because you took attrition. And then it was like you didn't have anything to back up your armies. Alright, so if we... Yeah, so Lamia has a huge garrison out of the box. 15, you know, it's got a couple Tomb Guard, it's got a Shabti, a Catapult. Of course, we can't put a Lord there to protect it because, you know, of caps, but... And I can't wait to get a Tomb Prince in this army. Couple of turns, we'll get another army, and then we'll be able to recruit them, like, right here and help out. I just, man, I don't know. I am so apprehensive about not making progress in an early campaign. But Thorak's not making progress either. Of course, he, though, is an AI, so he's going to be making more money than I am. He's just, like, sitting there at the entrance. The other way in is to go through the south, through this pass. Of course, there's lizardmen over there. But if I need another army to fight him, perhaps... Well, no, I mean, we're going to get that other army right now. So what do we do now? We could get a new Shabti. Chariots. But I think maybe money? Just a little bit of money? Alright, we just need to get access to what exactly? A whole bunch of resources, none of which are around me except for this gem stack, which we'll build whenever we can. What'll that let me get? Probably just like this weapon. Well, you know, it'll be something. You know, you need a bunch of things. And I think through this, like, you get it through trade agreements, maybe, too, but I'm not 100% sure. Thoric Ironbrow here. At the very least, he's not doing anything, which means, although he's level 10, he's stuck at level 10. We can go fight these Skaven a little bit. And then if he moves away... Because once we have our secondary army, I'll feel quite confident about having a 20 stack of skeleton spears to charge at him. On top of, you know, my real army that I'll micro. Micro. You know me, I like to have my little jokes. Boom, baby. Wisdom of the Second Dynasty. Which I think you just have to take every time, because it gives you a ton of growth. Oh, maybe it's just per... It's not 15 per region. Okay, yeah, it's not 15 per region, it's just 15 per province. Still, very good. Here, I think the restock for Bone Giants is the most important thing. But maybe it isn't. Okay, so... If we take this, we can get this special lord, who will give us more money and have a ward save. If we spend our jars here, though, we can get Tomb Princes and stuff. Where do we recruit Tomb Princes from? Is it just capacity and we get them from anywhere? I will check the buildings because I don't recall. Yes, okay, so if we get the capacity, we can get them anywhere. Yeah, if we'll get one Tomb Prince and then take the Colossus... Man, all these things are so good. Because this is going to spend our jars, and of course, due to our early acquisition of 30 jars a turn, that's 8 turns for one of those hero unlocks, and that's fine. And you get jars for, like, fighting and winning, but I really think that taking those jar passives early rather than the other ones is going to pay off dividends, if Thoric doesn't kill us. Do we want to get the Special Lord, though? Or do we just want this one for... Oh, wow, look at that! It's a good trait now, guys! Now Disciplined is a good trait! You get 8 attack and defense, plus the leadership for and melee attack for your army. Wow! And Tactician now gives you the reinforcement thing as well as the aura leadership effect, this size, and this thing. So yeah, you know, finally traits that actually feel like choices. We'll take Disciplined here. Because this is going to be, you know, a backup trash army, so... And of course, wonderfully, it is so fast to get... your army set up. You get your global, you know, bam, bam, bam. And yeah, you just need the 2-turn global, because it only takes 2 turns. It takes 2 turns with the recruitment aspect that you get access to get a full stack, basically, in Tomb King land. And sure, they're not great units, but they don't need to be. They are free. They are free. I love it. So maybe we don't attack the Skaven. Maybe we sit here for 2 turns and... yeah. Move here for 2 turns. After 1 turn, we'll get the Tomb Prince. We'll pull him out here, embed him in the army. After the 2nd turn, we'll take a tech for the restock on the Bone Giants, and then we will prosecute the war. My artillery is probably better than their artillery. Probably. The Casket of Souls is really strong, and I don't think they'll have a cannon, and if they don't have a cannon, they're not going to be good at sniping my artillery. And we can just rain down on them. We could try to agitate them with skeleton horse archers, because they won't have the mobility to deal with it. They'll be able to shoot at them, but that'll slow them up. And then, of course, 2 turns, yeah. Oh, man. I'm so pumped about this playthrough. Alright, so if we spend 500 on it, after 10 turns, it'll pay off. Is that worth doing? Not at this point. We need the money for more buildings soon. Yeah, we need the money for more buildings very soon. Not worth. Would it be worth to upgrade this? I mean, I think not. Nehekara Horseman. It'll take 3 turns. Not worth. We got to think about the very short term, how much money we have access to. And of course, every turn we spend researching the new heroes or the new techs is a turn you don't spend getting another army. And since the armies are free recruitment and free payment, extra armies are incredibly strong. You don't have worries about, oh, should I get a, should I get one? Alright, so if we recruit a melee unit, then it'll make, ooh. Alright, so we'll get a Helm of Discord once we complete that quest. Good, good. So this guy... Alright, so one of them gets Cunning, which gives him poison attacks, but everyone in the army will have poison attacks. But he could be a Tomb Prince in a different army. 10 melee defense is good, and ambush success chance for 25% is really solid, right? If we wanted him on a chariot, this would make him better at a chariot. If we wanted him unmounted, this would make the recruit rank slightly higher for those. I don't... Do we want an unmounted guy, or do we just want a nice guy who will buff up the whole army? Yeah, I think the 25% ambush chance is just too good to pass up. It's just too good to pass up. We can get jars out of them. We can get jars out of them. Oh, yeah. So taking the heroes out of these techs gives us access to them, and they get a higher recruit rank. Okay, so that's how we're working it. You take that. It gives you a higher recruit rank, so you can get them and immediately get more jars, allowing you to tech up to these other ones. But do we want the restock ability more? We only are going to run out of ammo on skirmishers and then in sieges. So I think maybe getting the Necrotect is better. No, I think probably getting an army is better, right? Getting an army is probably better. 9 turns for another army. And we get this dynasty. And then we'll be able to buff melee infantry and stuff, but... man, tricky. Yikes. Hey, hello, Thomas. What's this? Well, we're just at turn 11 here on Khalida, and I'm trying to decide what tech to choose. It's actually a hard choice. There's a bunch of really good stuff here. Another dynasty feels correct. But another caster feels good. Another hero feels good. Another dynasty feels correct, though. Yeah. Yeah, another army, because if we only have 2 and we send them out, we need a third one to hold up here to, like, hang out in our lands so that Clan Morse doesn't invade very soon, which, of course, they may well do anyway. And we can't afford to spend that because we need the money to buy buildings here next turn. But yeah, we took out the vampires. We traded this to Thoric for a little bit of affection early. And now he's just sitting there. Yeah, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. He's in March stance in our land with his full army inside of the radius of both of ours. We got him. We're going to take leadership and casualty replen. We're going to take jars. No, this is just 40 jars. This seems good overall. For 10 turns, that'll take us through this. 40 jars, we don't even need jars right now. You know, they're good. We're doing okay on jars, is what I'm saying. Alright, so after 8 technologies, we'll get a Talisman of Preservation. That's so rough. It takes forever to get that. This Banner of the Hidden Dead... Oh, wow. It gives stock Vanguard and Wayfarer. This is like the Banner of Swiftness on the best of steroids. I mean, it doesn't make them faster, but Wayfarer is amazing. Stock, super good. And Vanguard, of course, you don't even need to worry about it. That's pretty good, too. Alright, so... it is time to bushwhack Thoric Ironbrow. Oh, he was at war with these little Skaven here. Well, that's what he gets for marching through my land. Of course, we could take the Pyrrhic victory. We're not going to. We're clearly going to fight him. He's got what? He's got Iron Breakers, Warriors, and 1 Longbeard, a bunch of great weapons, 4 Blasting Charges, a couple of Quarrelers, and a Grudge Thrower, plus himself. He's on an anvil, so we're going to be able to tune him all the way up with this Bone Giant. Through the whole fight, we're just going to be able to wreck him. He's only got anti-infantry catapults. He doesn't have cannons. The Iron Breakers could be a problem, but we're just going to drop caskets on him. They're not even going to get close. And then, of course, we have this whole army that we don't care about because you can get like 7 free units in 1 turn. For a guy like me, the Tomb Kings are perfect. This is also why I love Beastmen. Are these already level 7 Iron Breakers? Yeah, they must be. Well, you know, if he starts out with Iron Breakers, I should play a campaign to him. Let's get to it. My man's surely going to wish that he had a gyrocopter whenever we start rolling in. But yeah, we'll get the Dynasty 9 turns. Okay, so this is turn 1. We'll move up and then take the first one in the past, turn 2. Move to the left for that major settlement, turn 3. Leave it unsupported. Move both armies down. Try to take the settlements with the backup army because they do take attrition and Khalida doesn't. Get down to Thoric's place right before he gets back up. Because it should be 5 turns on it. He might be embedded in the army right when we get there. That'll be fine still. It actually might be moderately easier to take down Thoric compared to a normal lord because he's large on his anvil. And the Bone Giant wants to shoot him. Alright, let's see how we're going to do it. Skirmish mode. Here and here. Because all we got to do, even if we take shots, like, it doesn't matter. The Iron Breakers are all the way over there on that flank. So we want the bulk of our forces all the way over here. Not least because when these guys get here, we're just going to be able to send them attack move in. So we want to be backed up, right? We don't want to be up in the front. We want to be in a good spot for our artillery. They get here in 2 minutes, so it's going to take the dwarves that long to get across anyway. We're just going to have the casket pointed right here so that we can... No, we want the casket on top of the Iron Breakers from the jump. And then we'll just back it away if the need be. We don't need skirmishers on this flank because Iron Breakers have 135 armor and silver shields. We'll get them over here and try to move all the way around the back. That might also distract the grudge throwers. And then we'll maybe just sack the skeleton horsemen here in that attempt. I am so pumped about playing Tomb Kings. I hate worrying about recruiting new units and where my money is. And I am free. I am free of considerations like being a good player and caring what happens to me. I am so free. Tomb Guard in the back because we don't want them to get shot up. We have very limited infantry in this army. It's like, there's just 5 units of them. We've got our backup. We've got our backup. 2 minutes and we'll have a full infantry complement to run forward. Like, actually, we should just be, like, all the way back here, right? Right. Because if they get on top of the artillery somehow, you know, that's bad, but we just want to be able to not get shelled. If they shoot at the casket, that'll never work, right? We'll just have the Screaming Meme catapults right in the front here to hit them as they approach. Alright, let's go. Gentlemen, start your battles! Oh, yeah, that's a lot of damage. Bone Giant getting the work in already. And this is the real payload. Show me the money, show me the money. They see it coming in from the sky and they can't get away. Oh my goodness, 2k damage on the Iron Breakers. Oh man. And this skirmish is going to make them upset in their little dwarf brains in a way that's going to render them very, very very troubled. Oh, they're in for it. Oh man. These Iron Breakers just getting mauled. Like I said, the Casket of Souls is so important because it's AP missiles. They don't care about anything. They got a huge arc on them. All you got to do is find the highest of the high-value targets and get on them. They're trying to line up for these blasting charges. We're just going to run straight through it. They need to line up to cast them, right? They have to line up to throw the charges. So you just wait until they're trying to line up, and then you back out a little bit. Boom, baby. And there's our fire onto the miners. Now, of course, we now have quarrelers that are quarreling with us. We're going to back away all the way here. I love a horse archer. Man, oh man, do I ever love a horse archer. We're going to get this guy firing at Thoric. We're going to put him on guard mode just in case something weird happens here. Ironbreaker shooting. The Screaming Catapults are just now being able to fire a little bit because, of course, yeah, there we go. They get a big quarreler salvo into these horse archers. That's not going to matter. Oh, yeah, look at that damage on Thoric. We're just going to be able to absolutely schwammer him here. We're going to move all of our skirmishers around the back. And now with our forces onto the battlefield, oh yeah, this is perfect. This is perfect. Look at these Ironbreakers. They're trying to get away. It doesn't matter if they even get away from some of it, because they'll be dead by the time they get across this field. They ain't quick. They're dressed in iron. They got 23 speed right now. They are beat up. We're going to get in the trees. That'll protect us from foes. And here, of course... Ironbreaker's getting iron broke. Oh, yeah. Bone Giant shooting most bonily. Thoric's almost dead. We're shooting into the trees here. We got 7 ammo left. I don't think we should worry about it. You know, another Bone Giant for restock would be good, but he can't restock himself after all. Their Ironbreaker's really running. The Casket of Souls, if all it does is shoot Ironbreakers, if they go down, it's worth it. Alright, and then we'll just have the Hero Cord. Actually, the Tomb Prince has like a halberd. Yeah, the Tomb Prince has a halberd with 25 bonus versus large, so when Thoric gets in here, we're going to be very good against him too. And now, the Ironbreakers here in the rear are just totally separated out. We're going to charge in here on these Miners with Blasting Charges, but we're going to charge our Skeleton Horse Archers into melee onto their Grudge Throwers. That's going to go very well for us. And there we go. That's a lot of damage. We're just going to charge forward with our whole hero blob and get to work. Their Ironbreakers totally dissuaded by like trying to get away from this artillery, and they don't get anything done at all as a consequence. And that is intimidation. It's all about sending a message. You don't have to destroy the foe if you're able to charge over the back of them. And now they're trying to brace here to accept the charge. They don't realize that I don't care if I lose my units. I am the Tomb Kings. I've got plenty of recruitment capacity here. Alright. Thoric is among our forces. And all of our heroes are now laser focused upon him, so he's going down. This Tomb Prince is gonna pop him. He's only got 58 melee defense. He's a large target, and we are going to burn him down. It is going to be curtains. Our skirmish cav getting beat up. You know, we don't want to be losing all of these units. I mean, we can if we have to, but we don't want to be, so... It's nice enough to, see that these archers aren't doing nothing. Man, bunch of lazy bones. Lazy bones indeed. And here we go. Casket of Souls activated. We're going to drop a Nushabti summon right on these Quarrelers. We're going to go ahead. We've got our skirmish mode going on here. You know, some of these Skeleton Horse Archers are going to die to these Quarrelers, but the rest of them are going to be fine. Thoric's trying to run. Thoric's trying to run. Let's give him a little Bernie in the face there. Boom, baby. Run from this, you chump. I'm just kidding. I love him. But it's hard not to talk trash about your enemies whenever you're winning. Boom, baby. He's out of commission. The Ironbreakers still getting shelled. The Casket of Souls did nothing but shoot Ironbreakers all game. It only got 1,000 value. Totally worth. Look, if Iron Breakers were in this line, they would be chewing through everything. They're really good. Gotcha Grimson going down. And now that we're cursed here, we're going to be able to drop this anti-armor curse on the foe. Pop that on the Longbeards. You know, the dwarves are a hardy people, but they're not going to be able to put up with this for too long. Iron Breakers en route. And the whole of their main flank in full collapse. Full Collapse, the album made famous by Thursday 2001. If you guys aren't familiar with Thursday, you probably wouldn't like them, but I used to like them a lot, and I still kind of do like them a lot. Anyway. No, Full Collapse was 99? Because War All the Time was 01? Oh, don't let me lie to you. Anyway, early 2000s. You know, Full Collapse, it had understanding a car crash, you know, all of that. A Hole in the World. Anyway, Thursday was a band that was in the genre that sort of became called, like, Screamo later, but, like, that wasn't really the name whenever I got into Thursday. And then their other album was called War All the Time, which was very wonderful, and had a bunch of amazing songs on it as well. But it's like, to this day, if I listen to Thursday and I'm, like, in a car, it is very hard to follow the speed limit. And I'm a guy who, like, cares about following the rules of the road. Like, I may not respect rulers, but I do respect rules as long as they're not meant to, like, humiliate me. And, so, like, it doesn't bother me to go the speed limit. But, man, when I'm listening to Thursday, it's real hard to not put the foot down all the way on the floor. How are they still fighting? Who's here? Who's the unbreakable dwarf? They don't have slayers? Where are they? These quarrelers refuse to break. Oh, they have this rune. Oh my god. This is an AoE unbreakable rune? Well, that would have been good to know about. I mean, I'm sure I saw it and didn't appreciate how good it was. That is crazy. You just stick that on, like, one of your units to hold the line. Oh, man. AoE unbreakable. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Speaking of pretty good, Thoric Ironbrow in the dirt. And because I'm Tomb Kings fighting in my land, I literally don't care about losing my forces. It's about time I had fun playing this game and didn't worry so much. Losing a peasant that I have to pay to recruit hurts. Losing a skeleton horseman with arrows that is free, well, that doesn't hurt at all. We're going to take the money. Yeah, we're going to take the money. 1,300. Oh, man. That solves some of our problems. Boom. And we get... yeah, that trait's so good. +3 armor-piercing weapon damage for the whole army. For the whole army. It's only melee weapon damage, I think. Yeah, it's only melee weapon damage. It's still really good. I mean, on a skeleton spearman, that takes them from 6 AP damage to 9. It's also a 13% increase in damage. Good stuff. Well, they get the damage when they get into melee, which, you know, will happen. Alright, do we want the Tomb Prince on a horse? I don't think so. The chariot might be fine, even though I'm bad. The horse... If we take him off of the horse, we lose the speed, but... Look, do we want a mobile hero, or do we want one that can sit in a line of my guys and hold it down? Because a mobile hero is easier to kill. I think we want him to sit in the line. Because our mobility is meant to be sacrificed, and the hero is not, you know, not especially meant for that. And then he moves up here, and this is going to, yeah, this is going to very much help out. We'll get there, and now his army won't have any archers, which is fine, because it should never be fighting by itself. Here, do we get this? No, we get jars. Jars is the most important. With jars, all things are possible. Jars are the route to victory and power, right? We gotta get jars. Do we have to get Lightning Strike right now? I mean, we probably should. Renowned and Feared is so bad when you don't need the discount. I think we take Lightning Strike just so we don't forget to take it later, and we'll be fine. Here, the second level of Spirit Leech is so important, even more than getting good things, because it decreases the cost by, 25%. And with that decrease in cost plus Life Leeching, it actually... Because Life Leeching, whenever you cast, it adds to your reserves. So you get 2.5 magic every time you cast a death spell, right? Or when you cast a spell. So when you have this ability, it doesn't have to be a death spell. So it turns a Spirit Leech from a 6 cost into a 3.5 cost once it's discounted, and it just makes it a very, very good spammable damage spell. Lamia levels up. We get the gems here. Getting the improved garrison could be good. It will also allow us to be a better fight against whatever Scaven to the North could appear. However, if I just get rid of this carrion thing on the grounds that I don't think I'll need it. I mean, Ushabti are really good, right? And then we can get Ushabti Great Blows soon. It takes 4 turns. Let's just go ahead and get it. We're going to spend, like, all the money. This may be unwise. We're going to try. Generalizing exclusive spells pretty good. Oh, yeah, for sure. Because it's like, it almost is like, now I can use this on anything. Normally you want it on single entities, but when it costs so little, you're just like, okay, I'll just cast it on, like, this unit of 32 cavalry, because it still hurts them. It's just not, like, as good as it could be. Yeah, we're just going to keep on for that. I think that's better, because, again, that was a long fight, and we still basically didn't run out of ammo on the artillery. And that means we can wait. We can wait because another army will be another army. That sounds reductive, but it's all true. And that'll give us a way into the Land of the Dead and doing this, so yeah. Good stuff. We'll be able to take Granite Missive with one thing. We'll probably move Khalida in to sort of leech the experience. You always want to do that when possible. And also, it just gives you better auto-resolves. That'll push us into a better position to move in and take Karagarud next turn. Oh, there you go. He has brought multiple armies to bear here. So we just beat a full stack, and then he brings another full and half stack here. However, of course, these are weaker armies led by a weaker character. They may not have all the tools. They won't have Iron Breakers, but they might have a bunch of something here. But we can move in here, support, move her to ambush, and maybe really get something going on here. 140 jars for that. Sick. So move her to ambush and then move her in front. And we might very well be, yeah, this, oh, okay, so they've got Iron Drakes. We'll be fine. We've got the artillery to deal with that, and it's not that many of them. It just makes me scared, because Iron Drakes would just melt my whole army if we let them get online. But just a couple of them shouldn't be too bad. They've got a lot of Quarrelers here. I think this ambush will work. And then we'll be able to just use this army and beat one of the full armies very easily, and then we'll be able to turn around and pop the other one. He's got his jars, so now we can take Indomitable Will. Here, building the wall seems good. But so too does it seem good to get more Tomb Guard and stuff. We could just take growth. We could just go greed, just pure greed. I think that's fine. We won't be able to get those units soon. We won't need money soon either, though, so we can go ahead and upgrade there. Alright, let's just hope this goes well. Good afternoon, Coolio. How are you? Oh, man, it's already 1:40. Oh, man, I gotta... We can do, like, one more turn. I started streaming late. I got, like, an errand run. Ha-ha, they turned away. They turned away. Never should have come here. They're really going to be sorry. So if one of them moved back there or something, my ambush got foiled. Well, maybe it did. Yeah, that guy walked all the way down there. Which, you know, good for him. We'll be able to move him with Khalida here. And this is a Demon Slayer. That's fine. He's actually not going to be good against any of my stuff, right? I mean, he'll be fine. Magic attack's good. But Demon Slayers, unlike the heroes, don't have primary armor piercing. They've got that big bonus for large. They're fine fighters. They're unbreakable. But, like, Khalida's small. The tomb... All of our army is small. We just won't let him hit the Necropolis Knights, you know? Oh, and he just straight runs away. Well, that'll let us get the whole army down, though. Oh, it's got a wall. Well, that'll make it easy. If it gives me the auto, I'm just going to take it. It won't give me the auto. It gives me a valiant defeat. Well, it looks like we got to do it then. This time will go faster than the other time. Maybe. I mean, we're going to be fighting dwarves, though, so maybe not. This might be a terrible grind. But we've got another tomb... we've got another lord with us. We've got, a lot more ability to churn through the fights. We'll just see how it goes. I'm going to take a real quick break. I'll be right back. Alright. Time to do the fight. Karagarud. You know, we got a normal little dwarf tower set up, I think. Yes. A lot on one side, not a lot on the other side. This is where we'll go. No, there's one here and here. 2 towers. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. Here, there'll be 2 towers, and we'll be, like, right up on them. Also not ideal. Well, we need somewhere that the reinforcements can come in safely. There aren't any. Everywhere we go, we're gonna be in the range of these towers. Well, this is not great. Yeah, this is not great at all. How do I do this? Oh, man. I don't have enough ammo to blow up every tower. I've got enough for 2, maybe. But we'll be in the range of these if we go there. Ah, man. Ah, man. That's rough. Super rough. We could just try to go in right here in the center. Oh, wow. It goes all the way back there. Jeez. That is such a huge range. So it's like, I don't even know if I can hit that thing. Because it's got the same range I do. Yeah, I think... Oh, man, I think we might have to do this honestly. That's really bad news. I don't know how we're gonna do if I have to do a siege the real way. I basically never run through towers. I don't think it's smart. Alright, no, we can hit that tower. We just had our guys slightly too far forward. And then the casket's going to shoot onto the wall, and the Screaming Skull Catapult will shoot onto the wall, and this will be widely regarded as an okay move, I guess. Yeah, it's okay. You know, that restock on the Bone Giant really might have helped. Well, I guess they don't... They have everything here, so we could just, like, take the wall over on this side. That would be a sight. Yeah, so the Bone Giant used all of his ammo to blow up one tower, which feels terrible. It just feels terrible. Yeah, I guess we just, like, march up and take a bunch of fire from the tower because I'm bad. I mean, like, what else is there, right? Man, I can't believe the Bone... I guess I should believe it. It's just one model with that weapon strength. I'm used to, like, having a battery of 4 cannon towers, you know, shooting. Anyway, well, one tower gone is fine. We're just gonna pop some holes in the other gates. Okay, well, if we can just bully them off of the wall, then I guess we don't have to knock the tower down. That's fine. What's been going on so far in this campaign? Well, we are the High Queen Khalida. She's a lady. Oh, she's a lady. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're the Tomb Kings. And as you see, we look awesome. We march in serried ranks of skeletons towards the foe. And we're the coolest. But we started out, we fought some vampires and took them out. And now we're fighting the dwarves that were in the nearby mountains, which we maybe didn't have to fight, but we were going to have to fight eventually, so we just elected to get it done early rather than any later. Okay, we're sitting in the middle of these towers, which is why they regard it as not a wise move. It'll be okay. But we have, you know, so we're like, sort of like Warhammer Egyptians. Like, you know, we're led by a bunch of undead, like, priests and stuff. This is the Bone Giant. He's got a big old bow. We got, like, magical artillery that shoots out souls. And, we've got one of the coolest looking units in the whole game, the Necropolis Knights. It's just what it looks like. These are giant undead snakes being ridden by very, very awesome dudes. They just, like, surf on top of them and stab people. It's freaking sick. I love Tomb Kings. They look so cool. What we're doing right now is just breaking down some doors, and then we're going to, you know, we're going to try to grind down some of the foe. We've got 2 blocks that both should be able to win against any other blocks because we have so many spooky, scary skeletons. Just so many of them. And then, you know, once we grind them down enough, we'll move in and take more territory or just keep on grinding. So the dwarves, you know, they're armored, they're armed, they're very hardy, they don't like to run. But we've got so many troops on the ground that it'll be tough for them to get anything done. And, you know, we'll just move in right here and... try not to take too much archery fire from the foe as we take the wall. Because if we take this wall here, then we can just... yeah, we can just walk on top of the wall here and they're not going to be able to get it on the flanks. And that'll put us in very good shape to fire support our way up. And then over here, they're much weaker. They're much weaker. This wall is going to go down right now. Oh, wow, yeah. My whole army right there, yeah, they're just gonna walk in. The gates are ours. And of course the gates are ours on this side too. But we're going to blob up. We're going to get our Skelly Horsemen on the inside. And start shooting over here. And then we're going to try to, like, backcap some of their stuff. Or at least threaten it, if possible. Oh, man, the Lich Priest moves forward into Great Dwarf Warrior Great Weapons. Now, the Great Weapons don't matter that much because he's not that armored. But you don't want to do it. You don't want to run into the foe. I mean, you do. You do if you're the Slayer. We're going to burn him down with spells if he'll let us. He'll have some magic resist because he's a dwarf, you know, 35, but it'll still wear him down over time if he's not careful. And I doubt he'll be careful. I bet he'll be very uncareful. And we're going to try to get those archers on those walls. If these archers... yeah, these archers on this wall, that's awesome. They're going to be able to get so much done. This archer won't be able to get too much. Okay, we can get him right here, though. And then those firing arcs will work. And here we'll just take this wall and then move further in. Oh man, the Lich Priest. We got to get him back. He is more of a thinker, not a fighter, and we don't need him up against these foes. When Khalida can blow up on these warriors, maybe we should have saved it, but, you know, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good choice. And more of our troops coming in, so that'll be fine. This Demon Slayer, he's not going to be a worry for us, and whenever we pull him down, that'll do really good. So we're certainly going to be trying to get into him into the action, and it looks like he is going to take the bait. Speaking of the bait, my guys that I told to reinforce from that direction decided to go through the inside of the wall. I could see how they would have thought I meant that. We're going to move them back, actually. Alright, now it is time to brawl. Khalida against the Slayer. Now, she has basically equivalent stats, but she has many more people around her. She has a wizard to support. And we've got fire support from the hill. So we're going to be feeling fine about this. And fire support from the ground. We're going to be feeling fine about this. And we're just going to chip away at them. Because, again, Slayers rely on their anti-large to do the scary stuff. And we're not a big target. We're a little cute, small Khalida. And he's just going to have to deal. We're blobbing over here. We are blobbing up. We might not want to be over here. It's okay if a bunch of the army dies, but we don't want to like straight lose the whole thing to the crumbling, which we could do if we don't act a little careful. But maybe we'll just get in here and start. Do they have longbeards or something? No, they're all the same. All right, we'll just get in here. We'll get into Shopsy Summon on the back because they think this is where the epicenter of combat's going to be, right? They're worried about this side. We could just move out. I think giving them the wall again is smart because then we can focus on what our real objective is, which is killing this Slayer. Oh, and it's going so good. Look at him. Look at him surrounded by the foe. Alright, but here we want these archers on the wall, get better range. We want all of the forces firing at the quarrelers. To take them offline. Of course, quarrelers really do good damage against us, and we don't want that. This Demon Slayer, 200 HP. He fell fighting skeletons, but he can tell people in the halls of Grimnir that it was against High Queen Khalida. And, you know, we shall never see his like again. And we're going to fight here in a more concentrated way. In the gates again, and we're going to get the Shopsy Summon in the back here to get some work on the flank. Mainly just because it looked like there was a bunch of guys we could hit here, right? Because here, we're just going to be able to move up. They have these warriors with great weapons trying to stop us from moving forward, but we'll just move forward and take this point, and then we'll just move forward and take this point, and then so many other forces are over here, and that won't matter over much to us. I mean, what we lose, we'll have to replenish, but this is kind of far from the battle, so we have like 2 turns of recruitment that we'll be able to look forward to here to replenish our armies. And of course, as always, we must remember that it's all gravy. And actually here we'll be able to charge down these fleeing units a little bit and stop them from getting back in. Very good use of your horse archers in the city walls. These fools are throwing blasting charges a little bit and also trying to hold this wall a little bit. That's not really going to work. It's not really going to work at all. And of course, as we die, we keep on getting more Ushabti summon potential. The Casket of Souls really should be inside. Screaming Skull Catapult should also be inside, and all the archers can go ahead and move forward. Everyone in this line is shattered. You know, they held for a while. The thing about dwarves is because they hold so long, very often, you know, they'll be shattered quickly after breaking it all. They're not like Skaven, who, you know, you get rid of the Skaven and then you gotta get rid of them again, and then again, and then again, and they come back. But the dwarves, because they fight so long the first time, often don't have enough in the tank, you know, for later considerations. And there we go. We knock down these towers. We move forward over here. And I think a lot of this army is alive still, so that's good. You know, we're just going to keep on working on them. Our heroes are in totally fine shape. The Lich Priest taking a charge from Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. Not ideal. Do we win over here? No. We're fighting against miners who will take an eternity to kill us, but we'll still theoretically be able to. We're just going to roll all the way to the back. That'll threaten them. No, you can't even take that one yet. We're gonna try to go around the weird way. We're gonna send these guys on a fool's errand. No, let's just get them back into melee here with the miners. I mean, they're losing slightly. Over here, you know, he's lost a ton of his army. It's fine. You know, we're doing okay. It's doing what it's supposed to do, which is clogging up all of the foe. Alright, are we really just moving artillery through the middle of the city like a smart person? Alright, the good news is these warriors with great weapons are broken, shaken, stirred, terror routed, probably, yeah. You know, the Terrifying Mask of E is so good in the early game. Getting terror in an army that doesn't have a good mobile form of terror, because the Bone Giant's got it, but he's hardly going to be in the middle of the combat all the time, right? It just really lets you punish infantry blobs in a way that's deeply satisfying. The Quarrelers, you know, they have shields, they have armor, they're very good at fighting skeleton archers particularly. You know, they're great at that range duel. Here, this army is crumbling up, but, you know, the heroes are fine, so we're just losing the mobility, which is not ideal, and a ton of the skeletons, which is, you know, kind of what they're here for. Ushabti summon, no, we only get one per battle, so the Realm of Souls is full again, but, you know, we already got the one bit of juice to squeeze out of it. And these guys are going to fight these miners for 10 years? For 10 years. Alright, we've got this point already. We're going to set, what, like a couple of these guys on it, and then move everybody else up to the final point. Because really, this incursion here, convincing so much of their forces to blob up, and, you know, the heroes are fighting. Sometimes the heroes are fighting. If we had, you know, something a little better to kill a blob, then, hey, we'd be in business, but... Of course, our magical artillery that's sort of good at killing blobs is out having a party somewhere else. You know, let's, you know, we definitely could have been dropping some bombs here. The Necropolis Knights, our great armor-piercing fighters, just hanging back. But hey, we finally got the catapults in action. You know, sure, they're not shooting at anybody who's currently in combat, but who cares? They're shooting at somebody, and that is something. That's more than something. It's a lot. We're gonna send Khalida herself. Oh no, the priest was on a horse. That's what happened. I was like, why is he getting trucked so much? Because he got a horse and I didn't notice. Look, a caster on a horse is good for mobility, but it's very bad if you're careless and forget that he's on a horse. Alright, so over here, this fight's going great, you know. Look, skeletons that are getting their vigor back against dwarf warriors who don't hold the point. I mean, we're fine. We're fine. We're fresh. We are fresh as daisies here. We could do this all year. Hello, Liam. Yes, big castles. War, nothing like a Tuesday afternoon. No, this is a Wednesday. This is a Thursday. Oh, I wish it was a Tuesday. Then that would mean I wasn't at work on a normal day, which would mean I'm still not going to work tomorrow. No. Good stuff. Good stuff indeed. The Necro Knights come in here. They're going to be able to mop up this. Oh, man. Oh, man. They folded that position. Oh, they had archer support. That's why. We are taking the final point, but they're going to be able to take the center point away. We need Khalida back down there. Yeah, that quarrel with great weapons probably destroyed everyone here. Oh no, not my Nagakaran warriors. I love them. These guys are about leadership broken, though, so they won't be holding very much longer. Well, these aren't. No, they're not at all. That was their ammo I saw. But if we just hold the final point back there for a bit with the priest, and then, like, yeah, there's no one fast enough to get back there. We'll just hold this, and then we can, we'll just hold the whole thing, and that's how you can win also without destroying their whole army. But I think, actually, their army's getting a little beat up here, right? These guys just keep on forgetting to fight. I guess they're barely fighting at all. They just stand there. Still. Alright, we got that point, which took them off of the Quarrelers are gone now. And then the Bone Giants in the back. Yeah, well, you know, we lost a couple of good units, but... Look, we're the Tomb Kings. We're the Tomb Kings. That means we can get them back. They're free. It's the best faction. No, I mean, Beastmen are more fun. No, not more fun. They're just different. Tomb Kings are fun because even if you put your guys in a bad position, it doesn't matter because you're undead, so they'll die very slowly rather than run away. It's like, they're just this huge Dawi mob, a throng, here against the skeletons, but it's not enough. A few dwarves might be here, but it's not enough. Some of the miners have candles on top of their head. That's that little thing going on there. And Khalida's here with the main group. There's no one to support the back point. These miners are trying to get in there. We're not going to let them get there. And then we'll army loss them through that. And this is, of course, another way to win a siege. We actually did it pretty straight up, right? You know, attacked one gate, attacked another gate, actually fought, you know, and then took the city wall. So, beautiful. Beautiful, wonderful, a fine performance indeed. I mean, it could have been cleaner, but we don't really have the big spells that we would need to clean out big throngs yet. And against dwarves, you know, they do have spell resist, but I mean, hey, that went super well. Especially when you consider that the auto-resolve said I couldn't do it. Now, if we did that without a supporting army, that would be really tough. But the Tomb Kings always can have a supporting army. They're free. They're free. And that's the best kind of price. We get 200 jars, a little bit of money, bunch of experience. And a chariot for Khalida. Oh yeah. And we got this armor, the Briar's Heath. I don't actually think it'll be that good for any of my heroes. It will give them Snipe, Stalk, Woodsman, Unspottable, and Fizz Resist, so we can put it on a caster, and they won't be able to see them as they approach. That'll probably be what we do. This is more of a thing for, like, if you have, like, a flying hero, it's pretty good, but I don't think there are any flying heroes in the whole thing. And we get access to King Nakesh's Scorpion Legion, the Skeleton Spears. Hello, Thomas. You took a freezing bath. Well, I hope you feel refreshed, sir. And look! Look who it is! It's Cetra, the Imperishable, King of Kings. Majestic Emperor of the Shifting Sands. That's just some of the things that he is known for. And he even likes me. Cetra, so some Tomb Kings, Cetra particularly, so they have this thing called Power is Everything. It's so great. Cetra is like a guy, you can make friends with Tomb Kings no matter who you are, basically, most of the time. Because unlike most factions who say strategic threat and then they get mad at you the stronger you are, Cetra gets amped. He's like, oh yeah, look at this guy, he's strong as anything. That's totally hardcore. We should support this. We get the province capital. Khalida has lost a few units from her army, but we're going to be able to... Oh yeah, we get the Nerakara warriors all the way back. Actually, we'll just take one of them. We want some in the other army. We can stiffen it up because we've got the army caps increased there, which is just so awesome. Like, I love Tomb Kings. And here we'll drop a Skelly from her so that he can get one more Nehekaran warrior. Because we'll have one turn before a fight. But anyway, yeah. So the dwarves, they have underway stance, and they could theoretically get over there. But I think from right here, we'll be just far enough away to where they won't. In 6 turns, we'll have another army, and we can recruit it up here, and hopefully the Skaven won't attack me. Is Skarbrand fighting the Skaven? No, Skarbrand is fighting Kimri and a bunch of other people. But this is awesome. We've got a lot of building income. 1,000 a turn. Look, Tomb Kings don't make a lot of money, and they don't spend any unless they're buying a building. So 1,000 a turn is really wonderful shape to be in. Khalida hits level 11. We get... So this will give... This is probably the most important for the power to the archers, but this AoE is... I mean, no, we need this one so we can get on the route to getting regen. Yeah. Oh, wow, and that gives us 6 Skelly archers. We're already there. We're already there. Okay. 20% faction-wide. Yeah, we take this right now. And now... we'll be able to get this guy with plenty of archers now that we've got our caps up like that. Oh, yeah. We've got access to 1 ROR. This spear, what's the difference between them and a regular one? I don't recall. They have poison all the time, and they have silver shields. That's probably what it is. No, they have slightly more armor, and they have silver shields. They all have silver shields. So it's just a much higher melee defense, but that's mainly probably because of being level 9. Charge defense against all. Charge reflection. Okay, and that would be the difference. So, I mean, totally good. Oh, and 160 units? No, they all have 160 units. And here, so Dread Knight gives you terror, not so important. We've got plenty of access. Soul Blight reduces their damage, which can be good, and their armor, which can be good. Doom and Darkness gives you a leadership bomb, which is more likely to be useful. Yeah, so we'll have 1 turn of recruitment here, but Khalida probably won't be able to even get out, really, so she'll be able to recruit there. So it's more important for him to get all of his recruitment done here. And then Khalida can get her 3 there, and then we'll move in. It's going to be a couple of turns to get to Mount Arachnos. But hopefully it'll all be fine. Commandment available. Good, good. We will take growth. Probably. Probably. And now we're getting, you know, slightly more charm jars. Do we have anything we can buy yet? Just this 1 weapon. Magic attack. Weapon streak bonus for large. I mean, yeah. Why not? And actually, the Tomb King doesn't start with magic attacks at all. So, yeah, very good. Give him the mace. Give this priest the thing of being unspottable. And then we'll leave him on the horse on the idea that horseback will make him stronger. Also, with 25 fizz resist through his trait and that'll make the priest a little hardy. Of course, they don't... The priests aren't fighters. They're casters. They don't really do too much besides cast spells, which is very good. It's not like some armies that have casters that are wonderful fighters as well, like Chaos. Or like some factions get a caster that's on a good mount eventually. But the Tomb Kings play it a little closer to the vest, a little more responsibly than all that. Yeah, there's the turn. Good stuff. Can we get that weapon again? Okay, we can keep on getting this item for 100 jars. I think we grab a couple more of them. Does Khalida need one? I mean, like, how many do you get? I mean, 1 for everybody? You don't really need the bonus first large, but the magic attacks is good for physical resist against, like, lords and stuff and slayers. And it just seems like Khalida should have magic attacks. Whoa, her stats are low. Oh, because she's on the chariot. Do we want to keep her on the chariot? I mean, we could try it. I don't think we want to, though. Because the benefit of being a small character is we don't get shot up by dwarves. I don't think we should. Yeah, I think it's smarter to not be on the chariot. Chariot drops your stats very low, but Chariot, like, when you run through an enemy formation, it does a bunch of, like, impact damage. But it requires a certain level of micro that I may not exhibit. Cetra wants a non-aggression pact. I mean, I don't think so, man. I might want to be aggressive against you, bro. After all, you don't serve, and I'm a queen, so what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And if we raid one of those things, we'll get some jars and Khemri will like us better. Is that really worth it? We get access to a great incantation of Tahothagin, so we need to make 5 grand so we can get a second casket. Probably for the first army rather than the backup army. Probably. So here we can... Like, I don't really love the idea of fighting his army with my army here. Even though, I mean, like, it's 16 units and a lot of them are minors. But I would just prefer to do it with both armies. But if we just move to ambush here, we might be able to get him to move forward. And Khalida won't have to, like, retreat or anything. That's basically a certainty. So we'll be able to get those down, and then it'll be a couple of turns, you know. But we're going to win this war against the dwarves. And then we're hopefully going to be able to protect our lands once that happens. When this dynasty finishes, we'll get an army, and we'll stick it right here. And hopefully that'll be enough to deal with the Skaven to the north to make them not want to fight us. Hopefully. So I'm not, like, super worried about fighting Skaven. I am worried about losing my capital, though, which would be quite a setback. In money and treasure and in other, you know, stuff. But the good thing about our setup here, though, is if you can secure the province as we're doing, if we can get away with it. And Thoric wants peace, which means Thoric's on the back foot, which means Thoric is going to be eliminated. Then we've got what I consider to be a very good strategic position, which it's hard to get those on the Warhammer map. It's hard to get a situation where over most of the map you can only have like an army or two to protect all of the entrance to your lands. You get it with Cathay and here. Okay, so here we're going to be able to get either a hero or a bunch of money. We can get more hero capacity through the jars and research. A bunch of money's a bunch of money, which might be better than a hero. But another Tomb Prince would be really good. Another Necrotect could be really good. Another Caster, I mean... I don't think we take the money, because I don't think 4 turns of money is worth 1 hero at this stage in a campaign. We'll get the Priest because we need a caster for the other army. Right? Right. And it's going to be a Priest of Light with Fleet-Footed. What we'll do... Oh, they updated Fleet-Footed to give you Wayfarer? Holy cow. Fleet-Footed is now going to be an absolutely bonkers trait. Y'all don't even know it's real good. It's real good. Man, that's going to be great. I don't want a Lightcaster. So we can get rid of him. Yeah, that's what we do. We get rid of him. Then, because you can recruit him anywhere and for free, and they upgraded our levels so we can get either an Karin caster... Spell intensity. I think just another Deathcaster is the way to go. And we'll take Tough to make him, yeah, Tough. Yeah. And then he'll be up here to be able to embed in the army. Yeah, yeah. Awesome. You know, the free recruitment universally of heroes Very good. And here, he'll move forward like so, right? And she'll move forward, yeah, with 2%. He'll have to run, which means he won't get his recruitment for it. Yeah, there we go. And Khalida's fine for this because she doesn't take the attrition. This guy only takes a little bit of attrition. It's just mountain pass. It's not so bad. Oh, man, this is going perfect. This is as good as it could go. Say, how do you tag others on a live stream? I do not know, sir. I do not know. Do we upgrade this? I mean, I think so. Four turns for another army. You know, maybe we should have... Yeah, so we disband him here, and then we'll recruit him in Mount Arachnos next turn, and then... Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we'll do. We'll kick the can down a little bit. Oh, it's 220. Ah, man, I'm having such a good time. Blah. This is... Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I thought I was going to lose this campaign already. No. Oh, okay. I thought he was going to declare war on me. This dork. You want a non-aggression pact? I'm not going to do that. I don't think he's going to attack me because he's at war with the Last Defenders, and he's going to lose that war. And I don't want the Last Defenders to be any more mad at me than they're already going to be. Brutal Business is activated. 20 base weapon damage for all things, and you know what really benefits from 20 base weapon damage? A bunch of trash house spearmen. I mean, sure, the dwarves will get twice as strong too, but we'll see if they feel good about that or not. Alright, so we have a big fight coming up. We're not going to do it right now. I have got to go and get on with my day. I got a couple errands to run, unfortunately. I should have done them this morning, but I was watching a bunch of competitive Warhammer play and I got distracted. And the Great Pyramids are... Oh. Huh. Battle healing cap, negative 15% for Cetri the Imperishable. Does that do it to him if I'm not playing him? It does give Unbreakable to the faction leader. That's pretty cool. Maybe defense against them. Yeah. So you get the pyramids here in the Tomb King's lands, and, you know, a lot of them have a special pyramid for Tomb Kings, which gives you awesome stuff. Glorious charge for skeleton chariots that are high rank. Yeah, you know, we've got to get in and take the Tomb King land for all of the special benefits there. And I would love to be able to, like, make friends with the lizards here, because I don't want to take any of this land, I don't think. You know, I think I'll... Oh, we don't even have to take Carrick Zorn to get the book. The book's in the Lost Plateau. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it's going to give us a ton of jars. It's going to make us recruit higher ranked lords, and then, you know, like, it's going to also help out the constructs a little bit, but, you know, really it's just about getting a book in the bag already, and that feels good. Feels good. But, of course, it's not in the bag yet. We still have to win. But I'm not too worried about it. I feel confident. Moderately confident. I feel good about how this campaign's going, at least for the now. But, unfortunately, the relentless march of time comes for me. The lady is Khalida. She is such a lady. When she sits there with the rising sun of her crown upon her head, you know she means business. But that's all I've got for you right now. a save of the game. It moved the main menu background to Tomb Kings automatically whenever it loaded in, so it was sort of a sign that I must do it. It says, I appear to be offline? Whatever. Get out of town. I'm online, I can tell. Thomas, in a manner of speaking, but really I've got to go places, buy things, hand a physical check to somebody, you know, just all the normal stuff you do when you don't have a smartphone. But thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I really hope you've enjoyed. This has been so great. Every campaign I'm playing, I'm having a great time with, which is the mark of an enjoyment, right? You know, I love this game. I love getting to talk to myself to other people while I play it. It's a whole different environment from the first 1,000 hours that I played of it, which was just me sort of going, you know, it's so much more fun to sort of explain and like talk about it while I'm doing it. Whether or not anybody needs my input, it's still very enjoyable for me. But anyway, later guys, I'll be back on in a few hours. I'll be streaming throughout the rest of the day. Not sure what exactly. We want to finish up the Undertale campaign. I do want to try out Hollow Knight again. I also, you know, with the White Palace, I want to not give up before we try it again. Then there's Terraria, there's Minecraft, there's Axoon, which I have one more day of. You know, like, we're going to try out something, but anyway, like I said, unfortunately, that's all I've got for you right now. Later, Thomas. Later, Liam. Later, Coolio. Later, Luke. Later, Minickman. Later, Sons. Later, Sonic. I appreciate all of you, and I sure am glad that you spent some time here today with the High Queen Khalida. Turned 17, and things are already going so good. So good. We just got to keep it rolling. If we get a couple more armies out and we can keep it rolling, I feel confident. I feel confident about our ability to reign supreme over the shifting sands and to make Cetra the rather perishable. You know, he's not going to join us, but he doesn't have to live. Anyway, that's all I've got for you right now. See you guys.